Alright guys, hey guys, my name's Soulscape. I know you guys have been asking for, again, an updated version of a guide where I'm showing my Azerite traits, talents I use and whatnot, just, you know, a little quick overview. And I'm not going to go too deep. I'm not going to make another full guide like I did before, which I showed, you know, a lot of examples in fights, or I was head over heels for exactly what to do and how to stay alive. I'm not going to go too deep on that, but I had a lot of requests for showing my gear, my format, and what I would like to use. And even though I go over it all the time in some of my videos, or you may happen to see me talk about it in the middle of my stream, but for those who are just my YouTube fans or people following me on YouTube and you want to know exactly what I use personally, I'll show you here. Azerite traits, I get asked that a lot. I don't really care too much about so many different Azerite traits. I mean, there's a lot of, about most of the DPS, there's only two DPS Azerite traits that I want to worry about. It's Chaotic Transformation. Chaotic Transformation and Eyes of Rage. And two reasons. One reason, obviously, is Chaotic Transformation. We have a 2-minute meta with Demonic Origins. It's just a huge burst of damage if you want to, you know, double meta on top of somebody. I-Beam, Blade Dance back to back to help extend. I mean, with Demonic, it helps extend another 8 seconds of your Demon form, which in a way is your tank form. Demon form is mostly used, not for, I wouldn't say it's more damage, it's mostly meant for staying alive. You do a lot of kiting, and sometimes you only want to fight when you have I-Beam up versus some people. You just can't have the luxury of not having Demon form and Leech in order to stay alive. So Chaotic Transformation, if you can get it, you have at least one. You know, there's a million pieces nowadays that have Chaotic Transformation on it. Nextly, you're going to want to go one Eyes of Rage, not Furious Gaze, sorry about that. You're going to want to go one Eyes of Rage, and here's why. It's not about the damage, it's about the cooldown reduction of soul fragments for I-Beam. A lot of times, if you're like me, and if you're not into 1v2ing and 1v3ing, then don't worry about it. But as somebody who 1v2s and 1v3s all the time, I have to stay alive. And how do I stay alive? I kill mobs for soul fragments to stay alive. I kill extra mobs in order to heal. Sometimes, you know, you're fighting 3 people at once, you're taking too much damage, you gotta kite, you gotta run. What are you gonna do? You're gonna kill some mobs so you can get some shattered souls so you can heal for 20% of your HP. It's just, you gotta do it to stay alive. So because you're killing a lot of mobs all the time, you're AoE stunning a lot of people, you're getting a bunch of soul fragments back. And you get a lot of soul fragments back not just from killing mobs, but from your passive Demonic Appetite. Because that's our main focus, that's our main healing ability here. Our RNG, the RNG gods, the RNG lore, it just is what keeps you alive, is good procs from Demonic Appetite. So when you're getting a bunch of soul fragments from Chaos Strikes, or you're getting a bunch of soul fragments from killing mobs, from your whenever you're 1v2ing or 1v3ing because you have no choice. In duels, it's a whole different story. I'm not going to talk about the morals of it. You're going to want at least one Eyes of Rage because you'll have huge reduced cooldown with your I-Beam, and that's just more meta. That's more demonic time, and just also improve your DPS on top of that. Outside of Eyes of Rage and Chaotic Transformation, the two greatest defensive traits that you can have right now that you should be going for is a combination. You want at least one Burning Soul. So whenever you consume magic, which you do constantly, pretty much off cooldown on everybody, you get a 13,000 absorption shield, and you shatter a soul fragment. That's another soul fragment right there. So it's another soul fragment on top of that. On your other soul fragments. So another reduced cooldown on your I-Beam, another heal, and so on and so forth. So you're gonna want one Burning Soul. So you get a heal, you get a 20% heal from the soul fragment, and you get an absorption shield. Now, if you can stack that, go for it. But it's hard enough getting one Burning Soul on one of my traits. But my other ones you want to go for is one Burning Soul, and then you want to go for Soulmonger on top of that. If you can stack Burning Soul, go for it, I would say. But I say only one because you're only going to get one soul fragment. So from it, so it's not necessary. You just want one Burning Soul, and then at least 2 Soulmongers, because every time you Burning Soul, you get the absorption shield and the 20% heal. But when you get that soul fragment for the 20% heal, you also get another absorption, a 4,000 absorption shield on top of that. I'm running 2 Soulmongers, so every time I consume magic, a beneficial spell, constantly. Everyone has beneficial spells besides warriors and DKs? Yeah. So that's warriors, DKs, and rogues. Most physical classes like that. You get a 13,000 Zorja Shield, 20% heal, and then an extra 4,000 Zorja Shield on top of that. It works hand in hand, good combination, so Burning Soul and Soulmonger. Two you want to go for. Talents. I'm going to do this very briefly. This is my survivability build. This was here to keep you alive. Obviously, if you want to go for DPS and you have a healer with you, you can go Blind Fury and Blind Fury combo, but because you're solo and because you're out there trying to take on the whole world, you need Demonic Appetite. You got to stay alive. You got to spawn those Soul Fragments back to back, like I just said. More Soul Fragments keeps you alive. Get some lucky procs, Soul Fragment, heal, 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 and another Soulmonger on top of that. Gets me 8,700. But this is my build: Demonic Appetite, Immolation Aura, Fel Barrage, Soul Rending for survivability, First Blood, Master Clave, Demonic. But the two when people talk about the most is Eternal Ruin or Fel Barrage. I love Fel Barrage. Fel Barrage is great. It does so much damage with proper usage. You can actually get the whole duration off just fine. Here's why I use Fel Barrage. I don't use Chaos Nova for stuns. I'm not going to waste a Fury on it. So you can use Chaos Nova. They both have a 1 minute cooldown. Chaos Nova and Fel Barrage. So basically, in order, because the reason why Fel Barrage is not going to use, you just interrupt it. You start using it, and I was like, oh, I'll just interrupt you, and no big deal. But Chaos Nova and Fel Barrage have a 1 minute cooldown each, so combine them both every single time. I never Fel Barrage without Chaos Novaing ahead of time. It was Chaos Nova first and then Fel Barrage, so it can't get interrupted. They can still interrupt it, but by the time the stun's over, they'll have less than half a second left. They're probably not going to interrupt it anyway. And if they do, it's a good thing because they won't be able to interrupt your I-beam. So it goes in tandem. And if they do waste an interrupt on I-beam, then I actually won't waste my Chaos Nova, and I'll just Fel Barrage with it without Chaos Novaing, so they can't, or since I know they can't interrupt it, I'll be able to get a full Fel Barrage off anyway. So that's just being smart about it. But the point is, it does a shit ton of damage and allows you to control your burst, allows you to control your damage output. Troll of Ruins is static damage over time, and it does a shit ton of damage in the middle of a fight. But here you can actually control when you want to nuke somebody down, when you want to force somebody to blow a bubble on a paladin, because like you're just all of a sudden just nuking them, they'll have to blow a bubble. But you can control your damage, and that's the whole point to Fel Barrage. Otherwise, the rest of the talents are pretty much the same. You would be going this anyway if you did any other kind of build. Obviously, we don't do Fellblade Demon Blades in PvP. But as far as PP talents and on the PP talents, you want to stick through it all. Yes, you may. People say, "Oh, look, Solitude. I'm by myself. I'm PPing. I want to go Solitude instead." Don't. It's a trap. You don't need it. You have plenty of freaking Fury generation with Immolation Aura and on the side, because you do so much kiting as. Even though you're a Demon Hunter, you do so much kiting as a Demon Hunter, and you use Immolation Aura off cooldown. So even when I'm kiting, I'm using Immolation Aura just so I have max Fury to dump and get some good Demonic Appetite procs. You don't need Solitude, and here's why Rain from Above is still good, even against like MM Hunters, Fire Mages, where you do like, whoa, my god, I don't want to ever use it against them, and you shouldn't. You still will need it. It's so good for finishing somebody off. It's really niche. You don't want to waste it. You just don't want to blow it off, like kind of blow up. You want to know it. You want to use it if you know you'll live, but you also want to use it if you know that you can finish somebody off, because it does so much damage. Like, this is one of your highest damage, if not your highest damaging ability in the middle of the fight is the Rain from Above. But learn to get good at it. It's not just a simple damage ability. Figure out when to use it. Obviously not just when to finish somebody off, but eventually against classes you think you shouldn't use it on, like a MM Hunter, a Boomkin, or a Fire Mage. It's still good against them because it breaks roots. If, say, you're stuck, or my favorite thing to use with Rain from Above, my skill-capped way of using Rain from Above is using it to avoid damage. Not doing damage itself, but to avoid damage. Paladin pops Wings or Shield of Vengeance and you don't want to get blown up by it. Pop Rain from Above. They'll live just fine. They'll spam Flash of Light, they'll live. Rogues using evasion, obviously, you already Fel Rush twice and you already Vengeful Retreat and you can't get away. Rain from Above. Wait for it to end. You're at 20% HP, you're about to die, and your I-beam's like 5 seconds off cooldown, and you know if you can get that meta again for the leech, you'll survive. Use Rain from Above. Doesn't matter who it's on, if you can avoid the damage, it's for buying time. Your kiting is... It's also just added to your kite niche, just to avoid damage, and somebody pops their cooldown, so you want to wait for your blur. Your blur is almost off cooldown, but you need to buy time for it to be off cooldown before that rogue or a warrior or DK or blows you up. Rain from above. So it's just even outside of damage weight, it's just a really good way to control your do extra burst and stay alive. Staying alive is the key to my spec. Staying alive is the key to my roll PvP build and what I do. Obviously, you have to go cover darkness is basically your bubble. It's 70% chance to ignore damage, and demonic origins, of course, so for your 2-minute meta. Metamorphosis is also fun because I also use Metamorphosis to run like a heroic leap. It's 2 minutes. Just use it to run if you have to. But that's about it for Azerite traits and talents. I hope I didn't talk too fast, but it is what it is. If I have time, I will go and show some extra clips, but for examples. Well, otherwise, that's my build. And world PvP is, for me, it's all about staying alive. I have a lot of fun. I've kind of like adapted over time, and just if I just want to talk for a bit, I enjoy good fights. Since I've been playing this character a lot over BFA, and I've been just doing static world PvP, which is my funnest activity, I don't really have much fun anymore. Just attacking the people who are just hit 120. I want to make sure they're geared. I want to have some good fights, some good strong fights. Oh yeah, speaking of which, gear. If you can do it, go tank trinkets every time. If you're a demon hunter or a class who's a hybrid who can get tank trinkets, do it. Do it if you can. I'm looking forward to. So I'm using Von Starling's Bargain, which I'll be using all the way to 8.2 until there's something weird come out too. This is your last stand. If you get a killing blow, it'll heal you for 66,000 instantly, but it's a 5-6 minute cooldown, so make sure you go back and forth and change it out when you die. But I use tank trinkets, and I've been trying for the longest time to get my opulence trinket, but I cannot. So if you're one of those people, a feral druid, a paladin, a DK, or any hybrid that can get the trinkets and use it for your DPS specs, get the prism, get the reflecting prism. It's so good if you can get a diamond lace reflecting prism on heroic, mythic, whatever you want to do it on. It doesn't matter. It's so amazing right now. Up until 8.2 comes out, you'll probably be wanting to use this permanently. But there's in the future, there's a lot of traits out there too. Not just for demon hunters that allow you to survive. Just go for full survivability because you're going to do a lot of running. You're going to do a lot of kiting, no matter the class you're on. I'm doing multi-class now. But I'm really looking forward to Crucible Storms if you're still sticking around past this point. The Crucible Storms, there's really cool items coming in Crucible Storms that have these really cool effects on it. Keep you alive specs. Let's go to not druid. Class, demon hunter. Oop. Not this, because this is like useless. And the tether, we're by ourselves. There's no allies for me to tether to. The leggings is the one you're gonna want. Obviously, it's just straight up mastery. Don't worry about the stats, but don't worry about the damage thing. Damage your target. Who cares about that? While below 60% HP, your damage abilities have a low chance. Low chance. I wish it was like static. You can tell me the actual chance. Damn you, Blizzard. To restore 30,000 health over 10 seconds. Really cool. For extra survivability's sake. This is pointless. I mean, I'm gonna get touched a lot. Taking any damage removes all your stacks. Okay, thanks. Not good for PvP. Not good for PvP. I might try this out. No, it was right here. Idol of feed on 7 allies or enemies within 15 yards. Up to 7 devouring 36,000. I'm not even streaming right now, but I'm just recording, so thank this guy in advance, or give this guy later thank you if he comes and watches. So later, I'm just recording. But this trinket, there's a lot of cool trinkets out there. Don't go for the ones that just stat at straight damage. Go for things that'll make you survive. Learn to survive on your class the most. Kiting is learning to kite, timing your cooldowns and everything like that. Using Metamorphosis to run away instead of fight. It's things like that you're going to make it good at. I hope to help. I just wanted to make a quick video for the subscribers who have been asking for my PvP, my talents, my Azerite traits. I know it's changed a lot, and I'll probably be updating it again when Crucible Storms comes out, and doing a little more detailed guide for you guys. But this is a little quick. I just want to, because I know you guys have been asking a lot. I've been working full time. I work 6 days a week at my other job, so it's been tough with the uploads. That's why I've been uploading so slow. But I plan, the more the streams pick us up, the more the YouTube picks up, less I have to do work. Less I have to work elsewhere. I'm going to do more content for you guys. But otherwise, hope you guys enjoyed and hope to help. Let me know if you guys have any questions.